I recommend it, but I feel like I overhyped it in my brain. It's still got great visuals, amazing creature design that's very heavily influenced from Guillermo del Toro. Uh, some pretty interesting and gutsy story beats, particularly the scene before the last scene, sort of like the beginning of the ending. That scene is very interesting to see play out. Uh, what else? There's a lot here that's good, but there's also a lot of flaws. It's nice seeing like a proper Wendigo movie for the first time that I can think of, and it's actually like really good. Like there's a lot of technical aspects of it that I really like, but then there's also a lot of flaws. Like there's a lot of ways in its approach that are generic, like how it uses jump scares. I actually do like the slow building dread and how it gave me anxiety. I thought the movie was actually terrifying where everyone else complained about that wasn't scary. So it kind of took me by surprise just how scared I was during it. I'm more scared by this movie than I am every almost every other horror movie. Like I'm not usually scared by horror movies. Like every other horror movie, like I don't really get scared by even the ones that everyone says are the scariest. I don't know. Maybe I just have different tastes. Maybe I don't know. I feel like that it was more due to the relatability of the horror, and it was more from uh just like how I put it. the the anxious waiting for something bad to happen is kind of like how I freak myself out, you know. And to me that's kind of scarier than like sign happened. Like the sign happening isn't as scary as waiting for that sign to happen, if that makes sense. And there's like some pretty dark and messed up things in here that's like, wow, that's like grim. There's some great like practical effects in the movie. The movie just everything to do with looks like is great. A couple of the performances I like to point out aren't like amazing. The movie just is like super flawed, but I really, really enjoyed it. Although I do have to admit that it gave me a heart attack, so I do not want to see it again anytime soon because it was a little too much for my heart to handle. I'm telling you, it was way scarier than everyone said it was. Like everyone kept saying it's not scary, but I was actually like terrified. And I don't know if it's just because it was how loud the theater was, but like even the really generic cliched jump scares that I knew were coming scared me, and I don't know why. I feel almost ashamed by that, but like the movie does like more than enough right to warrant a watch, and it's very effective at doing a lot of what I wanted it to do. By the ending of the movie, I was hoping that it could sustain some sort of emotional element. And right when I was asking for that, because it was the one thing that I felt was missing for the film, when I was asking myself to grade it, then it pulled something off like that. And that's something I want to credit the film for, is that it felt like it knew what was missing most at that time, even though it still feels like it's missing like thorough development of its characters. It still needed like probably a better script. I don't know. Like some of the dialogue wasn't great and how it was delivered wasn't great. There are some like really chilling moments though. Uh some of the dialogue is really good and a lot of the story moments are good, but there's some story moments that aren't. It's hard to talk about without going into spoilers. Basically, my review is I really liked it, but it's really flawed, and don't go in with too high of expectations. But I think it's good. I think you should definitely check it out, but I get that it's going out of theaters this weekend, so you might not be able to.